Hello friends, you are pursuing your skill development program of Amravati University. Skill development, understanding and making a proficiency in that, everybody should understood the educational process which we have to adopt while developing the skills. Any program, educational program, when we consider in that, here in this figure, we have a goals, objectives first, and any course, any program or any unit itself, it has its own objectives. And to fulfill these objectives, the learning experiences are designed according to that. And this triangle shows us at the top. At the top, we have the objectives, and that according to that objectives we consider the learning experiences which are delivered by the teachers in the educational process or teaching learning process. The learning experiences including the curricula, syllabi, course content, teaching learning process, methodology, and all these are for the fulfillment of these objectives of that particular course. The learning experiences are designed according to the objectives. Again I am repeating, we have to consider the objectives. To fulfill that objectives, through the learning experiences, the curricula, teaching learning methodologies, the textbooks, references, all these processes are included into the learning. That means that red yellow, the teaching learning process or the learning experiences are totally designed on the basis of the objectives or goal of the course. Then in the next phase, when we implement all these learning experiences, or we have a strategy of implementing the curricula, then using the proper teaching methods, using the content which actually we have to deliver through these methodologies to fulfill the objectives just now we have seen in the last figure. Now here another one arrow is there, this is the blue arrow which indicate that the evaluation process has to be followed after the learning experiences. The length of the learning experiences is according to the length of the course, or how many credits are allotted to them. According to that, how many units to be covered, how many modules to be covered, according to that the length of the learning experiences are there. One of the important thing in learning experiences, when we use the word the experiences, learning experiences, we should understood first what is meant by experiences. In educational process, there are two types of learning experiences, and the first is the first hand experiences, another is the second hand experiences. And teacher, with the help of content, using the excellent teaching methods, trying to 100% learning to be occurred through the educational process or imparting the learning experiences. But the problem is that every time the first hand experiences cannot be organized in the classroom, but in the teaching learning process of skill, only the John Dewey's principle of learning by doing is very important in the skill development. And that is why the first hand experiences, in that the project methods, in that the demonstration, handling the experiences through the experiments are designed according to that, and every learner has to participate in that physically, intellectually and emotionally also. It is very important. But other than skill, secondary experiences works for it. And secondary experiences means we have to create atmosphere there with the help of only the teaching methods. And in the secondary experiences, the teacher has to take care that the secondary experiences must be close to the first hand experiences. And then only the learner can understood the concept or whatever may be the objectives the teacher want to fulfill through that content or experience. The selection of method is a methodology of delivering the knowledge or acquiring the skill is very important. That will be in other modules you will be acquainted regarding that. Now, the question arises, we had a very proper objectives designed. To fulfill these objectives, the teacher or the community of teacher or the department or any institute has designed very excellent learning experiences planned. The unit plan, then the semester plan, and in that what type of methodology to be used, that planning is done very excellently. Then what content to be done, that is also very excellently planned, and sequence of it is unit 1, unit 2, unit 3, according to that also it is designed very properly. Now, the question is that after fully delivering the learning experiences according to the objectives, whether the objectives are fulfilled or not, that is the question to be verified in the educational process. And that is why we have to consider in this triangle the one of the blue arrow which is indicated in this figure, it is for the evaluation. Then according to objectives, teaching learning process is planned, and whether this through the teaching learning process the evaluation or assessment is taken place to collect the evidence whether the objectives through these learning experiences has been achieved or not. And then only the first cycle is totally prepared, and this evidence is then considered. This is the another one arrow is there, means the goals are there. According to goals, the learning experiences are designed, and after fulfilling the learning experiences, the evaluation is conducted, and then through this evaluation we get the proof or evidence whether the objectives are achieved or not. This is the first cycle in the educational process is completed. Now, what happens actually then when the evaluation in the evaluation process or assessment, and in this assessment there are so many methodologies are used, especially considering the skill development, whether the student has acquired any specific skill or not. For that purpose, observation techniques is highly used. The teacher observe it and record it, or now in a modern age the video shooting is also done, and wherever the skill is lacking or excellently done, that evidence is collected, and then the feedback is given. We get a evidence through the assessment and evaluation process or observation techniques, which is one of the assessment technique prominently used for the whether the skill has been developed or not, and according to that the marking scheme is also there. we know in the Olympic Games, the gymnast is performing very well or not, there are 0 to 10 scoring, and each score 0, 1, 2, it has its description. If this things is performed at this level, then this mark are given. Then above this, the description is there. If the description criteria are fulfilled, then that level is achieved, and that credits of marks are given to them. This is the generally for the performance and skill developed or not. For that purpose, it is this the evaluation process is used, and through this evaluation process, how much objectives or the how many objectives has been fulfilled or not, that evidence is collected. This educational process first cycle is totally completed. But what happens sometimes, the after collecting the evidences through this evaluation, we observed or it is noticed by the evidences that the all 100% objectives which we expect through this learning experiences, it is not totally achieved. Then what to do? Here in the educational process, the evaluation process or the tools and techniques used gives us the evidences, and that plays a very important role. What is that role? It gives you clear cut idea that these are the objectives regarding this skill development or any program or any course, and out of that objectives this much has been achieved. Now, which is not achieved, that evidence also we received through this evaluation process, and then according to that we again give the learning experiences to the student, so that the remaining objectives will be fulfilled. Then again we have to go for the evaluation process, and here again the reverse blue arrow is indicating that through these evidences, if we get the evidence of objectives has not totally fulfilled, some objectives yet to be achieved, then again we have to give the learning experiences, and these learning experiences, this second cycle is given to them, and then again evaluation is taken place, and this proof is again collected, and this cycle is going on till the 100% achievement of the objectives. This is actually the things are going on.